Hi there, my name's Lee Thurban and you're back with Livestream Lee. Welcome, glad to have you with us. I am right out of the gate getting a notice from my live stream that it's for some reason not, it was deleted on LinkedIn. Okay, created now, a new broadcaster just removed this destination. Well, I don't guess it's going to go to LinkedIn Live. Okay, so let's see if I can schedule today, right now, schedule for later. It's not gonna. All right, so, well, maybe I'm live. Let's just start over again. It looks like it's streaming live to LinkedIn. So let's, don't you love technology? Okay, let's start over again. Hi, I'm Lee. You're on livestreamlee.com. Thank you for joining us today. And every day at 3 o'clock, Monday through Friday on 3 o'clock Central Time, we get together specifically to talk about business related stuff so that hopefully you can grow your business faster, make more money, retire sooner, to have more time off, all those wonderful things that were your goals when you got into business. Now, before I go any farther, I want to invite you to go to livestreamlee.com and click on the Join My Community link. There's several benefits that you get, one of which is you get this wonderful technology called Apricot Rocket, and it's a powerful digital marketing tool set to grow your business faster. You also are able for free, now this is free stuff, you're also able to tell us about your company. Give us a profile of your company and be specific about the products or the services that you offer. And we're going to do what we can to help introduce you to people. And if they need your services, we're going to make it easy for them to reach out to you and get in touch with you. So one of the things we do is we have a lead generating process and a connectivity tool. So if you're not on it, go to livestreamlee.com and get on it. You're going to want to do that. Now, every Friday, we interview a guest, and I have somebody special back. I use the word back. Even though I've only been doing these live streams for about 2 months, I've already come across this wonderful person named Tisha Hammond that I interviewed a couple of weeks ago, and I'm so tickled and impressed to know her that I've asked her to come back. And so without any further ado, I'm going to bring Tisha in. And so let me get rid of that, and let me click over here and hello there, Tisha. How are you?
I am blessed. Thanks for having me back, Lee. Good to be here.
Well, thank you for being available again to come and talk. You know, we've had quite a few conversations in the last couple of weeks, and I find a real synergy, simpatico, if you will, with kind of my mission and your mission. And so you're doing some interesting stuff we didn't get a chance to really dig into last time. So we're going to dig a little deeper this time and talk more about some of the stuff that you're doing. But for those people that may not yet have had a chance to see the first time we talked, tell us what you're doing, Tisha. Thank you, by the way, for being available today.
Oh my goodness, glad to be here. So I am Tisha Hammond, and a global pep squad calls me the small business cheerleader. In that, I can't even really call work what I'm about to describe, Lee. I get to live out a dream every day. I get to have what my friend Ingrid Hughes calls time freedom. I get to have unlimited access to income. I remember spending the days, in fact, 21 years worth of days in a great career where my income was limited every year because I could make what my employer told me that I could make. And so many things transpired over a period of time. It became clear to me that I needed to close the chapter of employment and open full-time the book of self-employment. And that's what I did by launching Ascent Small Business Promotion LLC in 2015. I'm a business consultant. I'm a writer at heart. I love to write. And I am someone who really is in the idea of promoting entrepreneurship and collaboration, cooperative economics with people around the world.
So when did you launch? And now you left, if I remember correctly, you worked for the federal government for 20 plus years in law enforcement. And thank you for that, by the way. We appreciate that. I mean, that's a tough career, and I'm sure it's very rewarding. But what was the thing that caused you to decide to leave and go start your own journey as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, three things really. One being the workload. I love what I did. The last half of my career in the federal government was equal employment opportunity, workplace discrimination, civil rights advocacy. I love that. In fact, I still do it today. I actually made my last employer my customer. That's how much I love the work that I did there. And so the workload though it wasn't what I had in mind. So it was nice to be able to do that work with the capacity that I had built around for that. Another reason why it was important for me to close that chapter was because it was time for me to be a caregiver. Taking care of my mother, who was taking care of her sister. Her sister was going through radiation treatment for cancer, and my mother's hair was falling out from the exposure to it. And I just couldn't, in good faith, be a daughter who just continued about my day, not trying to be of help and of service to my mom and my aunt. A main reason, though, Lee, why I made that transition from employment to full-time self-employment was because in 2014, my brother and sister passed 5 weeks apart, and they passed with dreams of entrepreneurship unfulfilled. I could not be like, no, I'm just going to wait another 5 years because another 5 years isn't promised. I had to fulfill a dream, a goal. And it was more than just a dream. It was like a push, like a calling, a mission. And so that's what I was able to, with the help of God and a very supportive husband and family, make that transition into full-time self-employment. And I get to share the message of entrepreneurship with people every day, worldwide.
That's the worldwide thing is one of the things that I'm just so tickled to be able to kind of witness, report, and to give testimony to. You had people on our previous conversation, you had people from around the United States and around the world that tuned in. I looked at the comments and the connections, I tracked the activity, and you had people from the Maldives and from different countries in Europe and just, literally all over the globe tune in. And so I find that real intriguing. Talk a little bit about how you've built this global community. Did you consciously say, I'm going to build a global community, or did it just kind of happen?
I maybe both, maybe a combination of both. Of course, as business owners, Lee, we want to be able to say that we're global. We want to have that impact and that reach. That's just like verbal. It's just natural to say, I want to be worldwide. In reality, this was years in the making. This is 6 years of intention and building relationships with people and finding value in any relationship. So for instance, Lee, you and I could go to the same networking event and see the same 30 people in the room and no one new come in. For some people, that would be stale and old and dry conversation after 3 or 4 weeks. But for me, I'm like, tell me about your grandchildren. What's your favorite ice cream? I can find value in any of that conversation. Because in addition to looking at the person, what I also see behind the person is an entire network of people they could introduce me to. And hopefully what they see in me, which is why I wear shirts like this, is an entire community of people I can introduce them to. And that it's relational. It's not one-sided. I'm not going to give, and someone take. It's going to be give and take. And it's been helpful to have that kind of approach to networking. It's also been very helpful to be an award-winning membership director of a major organization where during my term as membership director of the National Association of Women Business Owners in the Greater Detroit chapter, we had the highest member retention rate of 60 chapters. It's relationship. It's incentivizing people to spend their time with you and make it worth their while. And it just works.
Yeah, it is always about relationships, isn't it? I get amazed. I'm just constantly amazed at companies that just don't seem to care about people. And it's the little things a lot of times that make this stand out. Like they don't even put a phone number for you to call them on their website. I mean, it's like little things like that. They obviously don't care. Anyway, you'll get me off on my soapbox, and we'll just go down that path.
I think what you're talking about, though, in some ways, is the customer experience or the customer journey, and we have that with one another. Lee, if you never purchased my best-selling book, if you never hired me as a consultant or to write something for you, it doesn't mean that I don't care about how your experience is with me or with my company. So something as simple as a phone number, hey, big company, share it. We need to talk to people.
Right.
This is the bottom line.
So let's talk a little bit about community. You've, I think, have already built a very significant community. But I know you have plans for how to take what you've started and grow it. Of course, everybody does. So talk a little bit about some of your aspirations and specific plans for a community along the lines of, how do you want to take where you're at now, and where do you want it to be, and how do you plan to get there?
This excites me, by the way. I love this line of conversation. So in the 6 years in the building, the community that is known as the Global Pep Squad, this is my vision map. This is where the Pep Squad resides all around the world. Lee, we're trying to get to Antarctica, if you can make an introduction to someone there. We're not in Antarctica as far as we know, but we'll get there. But what I've been building is just like a chain of hands that spread across the world right now. And that's great to be able to say that the Pep Squad is global, we're worldwide, but we're still separated in some ways. And so my intention and my goal is to bring us closer together. Now, we can do this through technology. We can do this through having various meeting places, but my goal is to have an official home for the Global Pep Squad. And that is what I have found after having been introduced to you through Bruce, the guy in the blue shirt, Kernahan, who's pretty active on LinkedIn. And I have been so impressed by the way technology can get us where we need to meet at. And so what I'm looking to do is to take this Global Pet Squad, which these are real people with real names, with companies, with businesses, with aspirations to be entrepreneurs. And some just really like a good conversation. So they watch for various reasons. The goal is to give them a home, a landing place, a place where they feel they belong, where they feel they can talk to one another, where we can have very safe and meaningful and productive conversations in our own networking space, and where we can have opportunities for masterminds or trainings or virtual coffee and tea. It just, who knows? The opportunities are in this. But what I really am getting at is I have this incredible plan to incentivize everyone who makes the Global Pep Squad their official home for networking and for entrepreneurship. And the incentives, the contests, the way that we can purchase from one another and really demonstrate our consumer power right there is what I'm chasing after.
So, folks, by the way, on my half of the screen, you see a link, and it's a little bit.ly short link, but it is a Tisha's link. And now I know you can't click on it, but you can write it down, and then you can type it in, and then you can click on it. And when you do that, you'll actually be able to join Tisha's community. And she is still in the process of constructing it, but when you join the community, you get some things. And Tisha, why don't you describe what you get so far and what you've got planned for the future?
Oh my goodness. Okay. What you get is not just a seat at the table. You get a table. You get to bring extra seats, right? You get the opportunity to connect one-on-one in deeper ways, in our own system, in our with our own automation. You get access to places where you can share your products and services and promote your business. I mean, I'm called the small business cheerleader because of the way that I promote others' businesses ahead of mine. I don't lose anything by telling the world that you have a great product or service. That's what this is based on, is elevating the conversation and putting others ahead of me. When you shine the light on someone, Lee, you know this. When you live to serve someone else and meet their needs first, things come back to you. And this is this is a great community for referrals. It's a great community to find your next prospect, client, or customer, or your next best friend in business. It's an opportunity to be connected to other communities. There's this incredible shopping cart, and then there's these things called tokens. When I think about incentives, these tokens are really they get me excited too. I think you can describe the tokens a lot more intimately than I can. And Lee, what I would ask is, if there's someone from the Pep Squad who is watching, if you would please take down that bit.ly link and put it in a comment that makes it clickable for someone, particularly if you are a member of the official Global Pep Squad. Please do that and share what we have. We don't want to keep this a secret by any means. And thank you, whoever puts that link in there.
Well, I was just trying to post it myself. I'm still kind of a newbie to this whole StreamYard thing. And so I'm not sure if I even know what I'm doing. But I just tried to post it and it just said it didn't work. So, first, folks, it's like transparency, disclosure, and all that kind of stuff. Tisha is working with me to build the community out. It looks like it might have gotten posted. I'm not sure. Anyway, Tisha and I are working together to use the Apricot rocket technology to build a community for her and offer her a bunch of capabilities. But she's going to be in her own community providing a whole variety of benefits related to being a member of her community. And I think that she's still trying to figure out exactly what that is and hasn't, so we're not going to do like a list of ABC of the benefits, but, she's going to have a bunch of benefits there. And so I'm real excited to see how that plays out. Tisha, so talk to me a little bit about the book that you've written. So not everybody that watches this may know about your book, and how do they go about getting a copy?
Okay. Well, the book is really about embracing God in your business. Here's one of like the pieces of material you might receive in the mail. Really embracing God in your business. So the book is essentially a guide for faith-based entrepreneurship, faith-based profit-first entrepreneurship. It helps that person who is struggling with the concept that, wow, I really would like to make a lot of money, but I feel because of my faith, if I make a lot of money, then I might fall in love with all the money that I'm making. And that is a conflict for some people. That's the conflict that I wrote this book from, to overcome that. So the book is called Daily Devotional for Entrepreneurs, Your Season to Grow. Lee, the foreword was written by Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. And this literally is a book for anyone. It's super helpful if you're an entrepreneur, because we build in growth, what I call growth spurts. So every day that you read this book, you'll get a way to move the needle in your business every day. And it's written to be read over the course of 12 weeks, which is one official season. And you should see a measurable amount of growth in your business if you follow the steps and the scriptures and the prompts, the prayers that are included throughout this book.
A lot of people don't realize that the original business Bible was the Bible. The whole chapter or book of Proverbs, as well as many, many, many other parts of it, teach people how to be successful. And in many respects, it boils down to the golden rule. The golden rule, of course, is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But in business, it kind of translates to, if you help others succeed, you'll succeed. And I think that is, I've always found that to be kind of the secret of success, is just helping others. And I know that is, we've talked about this before. That's also the way you see it. So what are some of the plans that you have for the Ascent Preparatory Academy, and what are, talk about that.
So in the Global Pep Squad community, the plan is to bring in this mastermind approach to providing training, to preparing the next generation of entrepreneurs. And that is in no way based on anyone's age. I typically work with a lot of people who are transitioning from being an employee to becoming their own employer, to becoming self-employed, to tasting entrepreneurship and really liking how it tastes and wanting to do more of it. So that is what I speak of. The person who is looking to be equipped in that way, then the Ascent Preparatory Academy for Entrepreneurs does that. And it'll do that in the community that we're building. I love that we'll be able to communicate with the Pep Squad through video messaging, through SMS text, and through email. I love that this platform replaces a lot of other technology for me. And so I can communicate in many less keystrokes, which is incredibly important to me, to be very efficient in the way that I create and send out information and the way that I intake information. So this is an easy way for people to communicate with me directly. It's a very easy way for me to send out messages to people in the Pep Squad directly. And so we'll be doing some training and certainly some video-based and more personalized messaging.
So the mission of the Ascent Preparatory Academy is to help nascent, budding, newbie entrepreneurs basically just become more successful. Where does somebody go to get more information about that? I'm going to, while you type that in, not while you type it, while you tell me, I'm going to, I got to go find my banners section here. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the banner. So where do people go? Give me a website that you want them to go to.
Well, I want them to go to my link tree. So I can send that to you if you may not have it already, because at my link tree, you can find everything that you'll want to know and probably more. So let's get you there. Where people really can communicate with me is through the Global Pep Squad. So I really want people to use that bit.ly link and create an account. It takes just a few moments of your time. I know your time is very precious. This will be well worth the time. Create an account there, and we can begin to communicate very easily within the Apricot Rocket Global Pep Squad community that we are building out for you. In addition to that Linktree, you can find all of my contact and social media presence there as well.
Okay, so the easiest way is for them to just create an account. Let's continue talking about the Ascent Preparatory Academy. What kind of programs do you offer for people to help them? Is it a one size fits all, or do you have different cohorts that are at different levels that move along together? Talk a little bit about how you do it.
Yeah, so it's not one size fits all, because we don't all have the same experience as entrepreneurs, nor should we, because we're unique. We have different missions and plans and goals. So the academy can be one-to-one. It works well when it's in groups and cohorts. And I like to call them freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior classes because this is not a one-time experience. This is when I think relationships, I don't think that I just meet you today and we stop having conversations. No, I meet you today and we build on that for a long time to come. And so the academy is, while I don't want it to seem like a school, it is educational and it is meant to be incredibly long-term. I am very transparent in the fact that I'm okay with saying I don't know what I don't know. So the more that I learn, the more I want to share. And in fact, the whole point of building out the academy was because I wanted to share a training course called "Let Me Tell You What I Wish I'd Known." I wish there would have been a Tisha Hammond with some vision who would have taught me some pitfalls to avoid 6 years ago. I wish I didn't have to bump my head so many times and make mistakes in my first initial years in business. I wish I didn't have to build the plane on the way down, and build the wings before we crashed. I didn't have that. And I didn't know where to look for it, to tell you the truth. I had a college degree. I had a minor in business. I had a mother who had owned two businesses that I was taking some observation from. I had mentors, but they weren't in business. And so I made some mistakes. I made some real kind of mistakes you don't want to repeat, in business. And so this academy started because I didn't want people to have to tell that story for themselves.
I'm guessing you've learned the same thing that I have, is that teaching requires you to be ever better prepared. I have an undergraduate degree and an MBA, and I became an accountant and all that kind of stuff. But I tell you, when UT Arlington asked me to come back and teach, that's when I really learned the stuff. I'll bet you it has been a learning opportunity for you. What are some of the biggest lessons that you have learned as you have prepared yourself to help others, kind of as you became the teacher?
Yeah, I've learned that it is not incredibly easy to replace a six-figure salary in the first year of business without a very strategic, intentional plan that works. That was the first tough lesson learned when I walked away from a paycheck every 2 weeks and realized very quickly, nothing is going to come in direct deposit just because 2 weeks have passed. No, it won't. Mm-hmm. No, it won't come in direct deposit until you get out there and make your content valuable to someone else. I also learned, Lee, probably 3 years into business. In fact, it was 3 years into business. A wonderful woman by the name of Mimi Brown. She is the director of National Speakers Association here in Detroit area. I remember her telling me, because I really wanted to be a speaker. Oh my gosh, I suppressed my creative writing for a long time because I wanted to pursue just being on stages all the time. And when that didn't work, because people offered me opportunities to speak all the time, but people weren't offering to pay. And so she gave me some advice that I took to heart and immediately implemented it. And she was like, Tisha, when you get to the part of the conversation where someone is asking you for your price, don't go try to explain a whole bunch of stuff around it. Say the price, answer the question, and then shut up. And no one said it like that to me before. And the very next time someone asked me what my price was, this is already our second or third conversation, so we know about funnels and we know about levels of conversation. And I remembered what Mimi said, and I said the price, and I shut up, and I listened for her value in my response. And it was harder than anything to stay quiet while she figured out what she was going to say next. You want to guess what happened?
What happened?
She paid for the highest package of my consultation service.
Cool.
The very highest one, because she found the value in it. And I was like, I could have had this experience years ago, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And that's why I'm so active in sharing what I call the good news with people. I'm not into keeping secrets about what works. And I'm not into keeping secrets about what didn't work for me.
I just love talking to you. You just told a story that reminds me of Samson and the jawbone of an ass. 10,000 Philistines were killed by the jawbone of an ass, and more sales are lost every day with the same tool. People that don't hush when they should. I am going to, unfortunately, have to call us at an end. We've run through our 30 minutes. It's always it always just goes by so fast talking to you. Thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to seeing you grow, helping you with your community. Folks, if you're not part of Tisha's community, you need to be. Click on that link, that bit.ly link right there. She's an awesome person to know and can help you grow. Tisha, thank you for your time today.
Thanks.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Right,
okay, folks, last chance. Join Tisha's community or go to, let me find my little things here. I got to click on. Go to livestreamlee.com and join the Livestream community. We'll be back on Monday through Friday of next week, as every week. But I got a special thing for you next week. Next week, we're going to have 4 days in a row. We're going to be talking about funding and financing your business. I've been blessed throughout my career to raise a little over $80 million for businesses that I've been part of. And I'm going to share in those 4 30-minute episodes everything I know, or as much as I possibly can, about how to fund and finance your business, where to get money, how to get money, what the whole process is going to be like. So tune in next week. And then on Friday of next week, we have Bill Wallace, who is the founder and president of the North Dallas, Success North Dallas, almost forgot for a second, Success North Dallas Group, one of the biggest and longest lasting networking groups in the United States. So come back and see us next week. See you then. Thank you for being part of this.